not to offend Gertrude. Taking it up with Gertrude. Triangling. Like maybe maybe this Carla wants to bring potato chips for us to eat with next class. And all I can think about is the noise it's going to make and how are we going to edit that out, plus it gets your hands dirty, and I become a real mother. And so I say to Rick, what might I say to Rick that would be a triangle? What is a triangle? Who wants to define triangle or describe a triangle game, move?
When you talk to the person, the other person instead of the person you really want to talk to.
So you're getting your reinforcements together. So you can take this one on. So what could I say to Rick that would be a triangulation against Carla's and her potato chips? You've never done this, so how would you know what it sounds like?
How about, don't you think potato chips are a bad idea?
There you go.
Sure tastes good, doesn't it?
If we have potato chips, it'll be so noisy and distracting.
Okay.
I think some other behaviors are threatening, threatening the other side or something you're going to do, blaming,
Blame.
acting superior, higher moral ground.
Making the person feel guilty.
Guilting. Good. Okay, well, we have the idea. Good.
What did you write on the bottom?
Guilting?
Guilty.
I left the L out. So, how do you learn to use I statements and say something directly without dying? It's hard. At least it was hard for me to learn. Was it hard for anybody to learn besides me?
Yeah. Oh, sure.
What helped you?
Less conflict in my life.
You simpled down. It helped you to do that, so it helped me understand what you're saying.
Well, if I would say to one of my kids, you make me so mad, instead of saying, I'm struggling, and I'm starting to feel angry, what's going on here? Can we talk or something?
So you found some new ways to start a conversation.
Right,
And it was an equal, you were offering an equal conversation.
right.
Good. Does anybody have another success story that it gives an example of success?
Well, for me, it was everybody else was always wrong. It was always their fault. I was blameless. I was always right. And I was very stubborn in that belief. I have your same stubborn gene. And I went to a class, it wasn't a religious class, that was kind of the dialectic to that said, you're responsible for everything in your life, even choosing your parents, no matter there are no accidents. And I argued with that forever, and the more that I kind of wrestled with it, the more I saw truth in it. So it brought me to that other side to start being more accountable for myself.
That's good. How old were you about?
I was in my 20s.
That's pretty good.
We-
No kidding.
Most people have to hit a wall at 40 to get there. You were motivated. Well, what about submission then? What do we mean by submission? You know, Paul is kind of a tough guy, and the way he presents some of the stuff, it's kind of Jesus. Jesus got the points across, but he wasn't quite so. He would put it and walk on by, and let the person work it out. So we get this picture sometimes that submission is about giving up. So what do we mean if we're going to try to help ourselves, help a friend, help a client, learn about mutual submission? What do we mean by submission?
I think
Obedience. Help me spell.
EDIANCE.
Thank you.
Think about humility.
that's what it is, humility.
Do you mean I'm supposed to grovel?
No.
No, it's giving up that you're always right.
Yeah.
I don't know where this came from, but one day I found myself saying, only God knows what absolute truth is. Then it took about 10 or 15 years for me to get operational in that. You know, as I was trying to work with people. What else does it mean?
So what do you mean by that? I want to hear the last part of that. Is that it? Just that one statement? Nothing followed that? Like,
I began to, only God knows what's absolute truth. So, you know, we have walls, at least, you know, if you've dealt with we've all been abused, so I assume we all have some kind of wall. And some of us had a lot of walls. So, you know, the farthest distant wall had a little crack in it finally. I said, well, maybe sometimes I don't know what the truth is. But, you know, that took a while for it to get. And it took a long time for me to, it took this. This is my abuser. It took this for me to be balanced spiritually, to become more interested in what you mean by something than what I mean by it.